Howdy everybody, Forrest Anderson here, also known as Your Yacht Guy. We are here at the Miami Boat Show, and behind me is the US premiere of the Absolute 53 Navetta. So we're going to get you on, give you a Your Yacht Guy exclusive walkthrough on this 53 Navetta. So let's kick off our shoes and jump on board. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So the 52 Navetta, which this beautiful 53 is replacing, checked off a lot of boxes and was a very, very well-received Navetta for the Absolute Yacht Company. So you'll notice a lot of similarities between the 52 Navetta and now the new 53 Navetta. But some of the changes that they brought over are kind of started in that fly line, the Prisma line. This endless cockpit, if you will, with the glass and the open rails here and non-fixed furniture, freestanding furniture, all goes into the allure and to the versatility of the spaces that you'll find on this 53 Navetta. Crew quarter access is right here through this endless cockpit. Very seamless, does not look like a big clunky crew quarter door, which is very nice, and it's still very accessible. As you see, hold on to that bar, and down and in we go. One thing that was very, very well received in actually the entire Navetta line was the privacy curtains. So aft of your kind of cockpit area here, you have a drop-down privacy curtain, which is going to snap to this bar back here and then really give you some privacy. But not only privacy, it blocks the wind and it'll keep the sun glare just right out of your eyes for those beautiful sunsets that sometimes come in at the wrong angle while we're sitting enjoying our beautiful boats. The Absolute Yachts family has kind of done something a little unique. Although this is the 53 Navetta, that's the 70 Navetta, we have the 75 and the fly line, the 52, the 56, the 60. They've started to introduce names for each of their boats. I thought this was outstanding and I really thought it was pretty cool. This one is actually called the Momentum, the Absolute Momentum. So I thought that was pretty cool that they are kind of a play on words there as they are moving towards this new style. They're using their momentum towards this new style of layout, specifically in the cockpit and the Flybridge. Once up here in the cockpit, you'll notice an aft docking station. Although there is no joystick here, this additional piece of furniture would typically house an aft docking station. You're gonna have a joystick here, start-stop buttons, and likely a bow thruster if we option the boat out that way. But I love where this is positioned, and I love how I can really, sorry, I'm gonna turn my back on you for a second, but I can really see all the way down the length of this hull, which makes docking super easy, whether this is your first boat or graduating to a larger sized boat. What do you guys think of this cockpit? Let us know in the comment section how you would lay out this modular furniture. It's pretty cool that leaves the layout ideas all up to you, and you could do even more of these if you wanted to. You could make kind of like a C-shaped seating or create an L. Totally up to you and how you intend on using the boat. One thing that is worth pointing out before I get too far forward is notice how you do have double entrances. However, this one is a little bit smaller, so they really utilize all 15 feet 3 inches of that beam that this boat has and utilizes it for your best interest and your best boating in mind. Notice the panoramic views here and also the versatility that you could do here. If you had a huge party going on or whatnot, you could certainly take these off and leave them at the dock if you wanted to. And just imagine this is a wide open cockpit here. Would be great for entertaining or serving guests if you had a large group on the boat. Let's head to the bow and check that out. Up on the bow is another tremendous update that they did on this 53 in comparison to the 52. You'll notice that has a backrest there. So if I had somebody, they could be sitting here, we could be enjoying a conversation. And about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so yesterday, I was actually sitting there. I enjoy the sun. As you can see, I don't wear much sunscreen, but I had 2 clients that don't enjoy the sun as much. And at that time of the day, this little overhang, it doesn't look like much, created a ton of shade. So they were sitting in here with the breeze and the shade, and they were nice and cool and relaxed as I was sitting there. But then we can also take this backrest and lay it flat, flush down, and now you can really enjoy a forward-facing sun pad while you still have the security and safety of a high gunnel and being very well protected inside the boat here. Also notice small features like the cup holders and the fact that you have speakers hidden up underneath this hardtop to really create an oasis style up here on the bow. Fender storage on both port and starboard, fantastic spot to throw your fenders, and again, kudos to the folks in Piacenza who have thought of just about every use of space that you could ever imagine or need on board this beautiful boat. We can also do just a little collapsible table here if you wanted to set the mood and enjoy hors d'oeuvres up here. Furthermore, to set the mood on this boat, you do have pop-up lights both port and starboard. And then forward of that, you'll notice another stainless steel ring here, and that is actually for a Mediterranean style sunshade. So you can really make this boat feel yachty. You have two clips up on top of the hardtop there, and then you have two drop-in poles that will drop in here and really create a shady, enjoyable bow experience up here on the bow of the 53 Navetta. We will stick our head out of that side boarding door, but speaking of boarding doors, this is pretty nifty here as well. Notice that you're pretty much midship, a little forward towards the bow, but for the most part, you're pretty midship here, which would be great if you're at a fixed or floating dock where maybe it's too low, and set up your quick step or whatever ladder system you'd like from here and enjoy walking on. And then again, once you walk on, remember you're covered. So no matter the conditions outside, you are still protected once you get onto this walkway. Let's head on up to the Flybridge and check out the views that you get up there on that Flybridge. Speaking of views, some of the most tremendous views on actually really any Flybridge style boat comes from the Flybridge. You're just up, you're on another level, pun intended there, and that was a play on words. You experience a different side of boating when you're up here. You also get a little bit more privacy. Let's say you're at the docks or whatever, enjoying a meal. Down in your cockpit, typically people are gonna stop and ask you questions about this beautiful boat. So if you wanted a break from that, come on up to the Flybridge, and typically this is a little bit more private. Beautiful teak table, and right across from this very well-equipped summer galley. Cooktop there, refrigerator, drop-in ice box here. That is great for bags of ice or wine or really whatever you would like. You can turn that all the way down, and I do believe it will freeze there. Ice maker here as well though, so if you had a bag of ice there and an ice maker here, I don't think you're running out of ice anytime soon. Throughout the Navetta line, the single helm seat here, the center line helm seat, is seen across the line from 48 all the way up to the 75, and obviously here on the 53. If you notice, I'm moving back and forth. This actually has a shock system in the bottom of this seat. So if you were to hit big waves unexpectedly, I don't get rocked around as the captain on this boat. I think it's tremendous. Spending a lot of time on the water, anything to make the captain's life easier is worth noting and worth pointing out. Along with the very enjoyable and very comfortable helm seat here, we also do have a little bit more creature comforts up here that often get overlooked. Your kind of windscreen here, if you will, is completely adjustable. This is something you don't see in a lot of boats, but is very, very useful. Instead of creating an entire enclosure up here, which often limits how you can enjoy the Flybridge, the captain can simply lift this windscreen, tighten two thumb screws, and then be completely blocked from the wind, especially on those days when everybody else is downstairs enjoying. Let's say you had a captain and everybody's downstairs enjoying. You don't want the captain to be totally miserable. You want him to come back just in case you want to go out drinking again, so that he can lift that up and be completely protected. Very, very nice. Very well equipped with the two Garmin displays. We also have a Volvo designated display off to my port here, along with the bow thruster and joystick. Really could not ask for anything else up here. And I will say, this is also nice as a guy that spends again, a lot of time running boats, you don't want to be by yourself always. So this is a great spot. This is an adjustable backrest. So your guests could sit up here and enjoy having a conversation with the captain, and what a great spot to lounge. All right, what you guys have been waiting for, let's head on down and check out the living accommodations on board this beautiful, the Momentum 53 Absolute Navetta. Notice the finishes as we get inside this aft galley here, which really is a fantastic spot to entertain. And if you think about it, you could serve both your cockpit guests, your salon guests, wherever the party is, you're not out of the conversation standing here in this galley. Just lots of storage, tons of storage all over the place. We have a real stand-up refrigerator. All of our glassware is right here. Pop open this refrigerator and freezer. I mean, even the clasps that Absolute uses is just very, very well done. Very elegant. Little pantry above the freezer there, and could certainly go away for weeks at a time on this boat without an issue. Speaking of versatility, this boat is designed as such where you could make this a trawler style boat where you're running at 11 knots. Given this semi-displacement hull, you could cruise this boat at a trawler style speed, or you can get up on plane and cruise right around 20 knots. More storage above, cabinets throughout, storage below, electric cooktop. We have two individual wine coolers there. Pretty much everything you could ever ask for on a galley inside of a boat. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments what is missing, if anything. Working our way forward, this is when it starts to kind of look like the 52 Navetta. You'll notice a lot of the similarities here. New helm seat, which I really like. Double bucket seat with individual bolsters. So have a co-captain or significant other join you right there at the helm. At this helm, we do have twin Garmin displays. Again, we have the Volvo joystick off to the starboard side. They moved the bow thruster starboard as well. And the idea behind that is this massive captain's door, as I mentioned, is just a step, not even a full step, a side step out this side door. And now I really can, once again, if I'm not using that aft docking station, I can see all the way down the length of the hull and just use this joystick. If I have to tap over port to starboard with my bow thruster, that's also very accessible right there. Look at this. These guys even used this little small, I don't know what that is, 7 to 8 inch area all the way off to the starboard side of this helm to put your Volvo designated display right there. Very, very, very well done. One of the biggest things about Absolute that has kind of taken off like wildfires throughout this industry is this side cockeyed bed in the bow. So this is your VIP, although this could very well be used as an owner suite. You do have ensuite access to your full head here, but it's turned so you're not all the way up in the bow, and you also can make this bed very, very easily. Also, no crawling over your significant other to use the bathroom or restroom on this boat. So very, very well done. You notice massive, massive windows, both port and starboard here. The seamlessness on the outside of just how that goes into the styling, the windows, all this natural light that comes in here. Although there are lights on, the majority of our light right now is coming through these windows. Very well done. Although you have ensuite access right there from that forward VIP, this is also your day head. So you have a day head access here, which is also going to serve as the head access from your third stateroom. Very, very well done. Again, 52 feet 5 inches length overall on this. So to have 3 staterooms, including a full beam master, as well equipped as this is something to be said. Here we are in the owner suite. As I mentioned, full beam. Again, these massive windows seamlessly integrated into the exterior styling goes to the overall living quarters and livability inside this boat. As you notice, we do have these off actually now. These overhead lights are off. So 95% of our light right now is coming from those exterior windows. We even have a blind down on one side just because it was so bright. But notice there is tons and tons of room, and if you've ever watched any of my walkthroughs, you know that I'm not a short guy, and everywhere I have steps so far in this owner suite is space where I can stand up without hunching over. All the abundance of storage we have on both port and starboard. Tons of cupboards would be great for storing clothes, although you do have quite a significant hanging locker with an example of clothes. You also do have a vanity here, fantastic for using as a desk and or using it as a vanity. Little drawers on both above and below here, right beside that vanity. So again, you could use that as a desk very, very easily if you wanted to work from the boat. Starlink these days makes working from the boat super, super easy. Before we leave the owner's suite, here, just to see the single unit washer dryer. Alrighty guys, this was a Your Yacht Guy exclusive walkthrough on this beautiful 53 Navetta, the Momentum. As we walk out, I want to just point this out only because Absolute does it as good, if not better than anyone. Look at how beautiful this electric panel is here. Nice smoked glass covering, but everything you could need right inside your salon doors there. So again, if you would like to put your name on a 53 Navetta, please let me know at SI Yachts or at Your Yacht Guy on social medias, and we can certainly get you on board and help you put your name on one. Thank you guys for tuning in.